What up, YouTube? Back for another installment of my channel. And it's a hot day, man. Today's one of them days that takes your breath away, man. It's so muggy out. The moisture kill you. I'm so glad the day's over with. I'm working the third shift because I'm leaving in the morning. Driving the kids down to Florida, Orlando, Florida. Ain't no none of us been out of Michigan, stuff Ohio, so we're gonna have a good time. It's our vacation. We deserve it, God damn it. But thanks to my baby cousin Bambino, she left a a question in the comments, man, and I encourage everybody if you want to know something's on your mind, or you want to hear about a topic, or you just want to ask me something, or something you want me to put some content on, just put it in the comments, man. Put a thumbs up, put a motherfucking thumbs down, something, God damn it. So what she asked me kind of like it flipped my wig a little bit. She said, what was the one of the happiest times, when I was locked up. And everybody kind of leans towards, getting out. That's the happiest time you locked up. You getting the fuck up out of there. But me, I can go so many ways with it. And so I'm gonna break it down, as fast as I can and equip all the ways in some of the happiest times. First of all, just getting a letter. You know what I'm saying? Was one of the happiest days. I was locked up. See, when I was younger, I fell deeply in love with a chick. We were both young. I lived a lie. I lived at her house. I manipulated her parents and everybody. Then, drugs got a hold of me, and I stole from them. I took all their stuff. They looked me up and found out, I wasn't a good guy like they thought I was. Like, they came open arms, let me live in their house and everything. And, they were real good, genuine people. And when they seen my rap sheet and seeing that I was a criminal and I was on the run, living in their house in the country, it really hurt them. You know what I mean? And, sometimes I sat back and thought about it like I really tricked them. I deceived them, people. But, I try to, it's hard to tell people, like, I really didn't mean to offend you. Like, when I was there, I really genuine, you know what I'm saying, enjoyed being around you people. But anyway, I did some bad shit. Went on the run, had her card, I burned it up, spent all the money, suicide mission on the way. So I was locked up, and after a few years, I kept sending letters to the house and all that shit. Every birthday, I sent her a card and her daughter a card. Damn near raised their daughter, you know what I'm saying, until about 4. Uh, and never heard nothing back. So when I kind of like said, fuck it, I'm not gonna be a bug, keep bothering this girl and her family. You know what I mean? A couple years went by, and boom, there was a letter. And that was me. I took it so far, I just remember seeing the envelope and my heart pounding, like, with excitement. Like, I don't know if it's going to be a bad letter or a good letter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's in this envelope, but when I open it up and, like, she just kind of like opened up how she felt, and I guess her friend and her, and they kind of started going through some of the things I already been through, and she says she can understand a little bit better now, how things unfolded, and it wasn't just me, what I'm saying, just blatantly not giving a fuck about none of them. Like, at first when it all went down, it was like I was a snake in the grass, and I only set out to deceive them. Like, that was my whole master plan, was to get them to like me and take their shit and bounce, when that wasn't how it unfolded. But anyway, I got that letter, and I was very, what I'm saying, excited and happy about that. And I won't get into anything that happened after that. But that was one of the good times when I was locked up. And that can go for anybody. You can get a letter and just be fucking blown the fuck away. then you can go on the ways of, like, getting that motherfucking parole paper, getting your parole. They slide. You go see the board. Then when they pass mail out there, hand you a piece of paper. It'll be stapled, folded over, so it just says your name and where you lock at. Then you gotta, peel it open. Then you see it, and it tell you if you got your parole and what date you're set to go home. And man, is that a good feeling? Cause you go in front of that parole, but you're sweating nuts, just like me. I went 3 times, and the first time they told me, you ever show back up here again, you're gonna finish out your last bit. My max was like 2,090 something, some crazy ass number that I'd be dead before I made it to. So every time I went and seen the board, I was just bugged the fuck out. Like I know I'm not going home, but you know when I did get my parole, that and anybody in that case, man, is that a fucking feeling? You just you're overwhelmed with motherfucking joy. You know what I mean? Then to have another happy day is that morning you can't sleep all night. Man, you wake up in the morning, you go to breakfast, and you're waiting to get released. Man, they take you up front, you put your khakis on, your people's on the other side of the gate. You just can't wait to get out of that motherfucker. Because when you spend years confined, stuck in a place, you can find yourself feeling when there's no hope. I'm here. Especially when you got years and years and years and years to go. And it's like, man, what the fuck? But when that day does come, man, it's a very precious time of your life. But I'm going to touch on something totally different. So, growing up, I've been through some shit. I've been through some things, you know what I'm saying? A little fighting and all that. And you hear people tell these stories about, how they whooping ass, you know what I mean? They stepped in the scene slapping motherfuckers. Nobody's gonna disrespect them. I don't give a fuck. Motherfucker, come tell me I'll fuck a motherfucker up. Come tell me. You hear all these stories. And it's usually somebody telling you a story about some other shit. They're not telling you that, by the way, but they can act out a good fight scene. I've heard it my whole life. I was fooled by the people I looked up to when I was a kid growing up, hearing all their stories about how they got in these fights and just how things worked. I believed it. I held it tight. I thought that's what I had to become a man, to be respected by all these people that I looked up to growing up, not knowing that they were selling wolf tickets to me and they had me fooled all the way around, man. They might have gotten a fight, man, but it didn't go down the way they said it went down. They might have even won, but they put a couple more karate chops and a couple karate kicks in there when they told that goddamn story, man, because that ain't how it goes down. So I went to gladiator school, man. I was young, 17, and I was only a buck 60, lighting the ass, man. And when I went to prison the first time, I could have went home. If I just would have told on somebody, I would have never had to went to prison. But that was the morals. That's the morals I stood on. I stood on my feet. I ain't no motherfucking rat. And you know what I'm saying? I ain't backing down from nobody. I don't give a fuck. I get my ass kicked or not. That's just how it is. And that's what a motherfucking man does. And it's hard when you looked up to all these people or heard all these stories, and when the shit goes down, they're never going to see it or probably never going to hear about it. And that's one of the biggest things that fucked me up. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's ever going to know about this or see about this. I can just tell my own story. And when I tell my shit, I tell it correct. So I'm going to come correct. When I went to prison in gladiator school, and when I seen people fighting, the first day, couple fights broke off. Second day, couple fights broke. All they did was fight. And, there was a couple stabbings here and there. I was scared to death. I was a little bitch. I ain't even going to lie. I was spooked the fuck out. Like, they had me shook, So, in my mind, I'm like, damn. I have no homeboys. I have no friends here. And when you're in gladiator school, you're there with young crews. they're gonna test your nuts no matter what. I don't give a fuck who you are. You step in there, especially if you don't know nobody, they're gonna test your nuts. So and they're not gonna send somebody who's gonna lose. They're gonna send somebody that knows what the fuck they're gonna do, and they can hurt you. So I got my ass kicked a lot. Not even gonna front. I got my ass beat a lot. I kept fighting, and I learned through the years that, what I'm saying, my problem was I was too light in the ass. I learned how to swing better, but I wasn't doing much damage halfway into the fight. I'm gassed out, and it's pretty much like we're slap boxing by the end of it. But I fought and I fought and I kept fighting. And, you kind of pick it up as you go. You know what I mean? From one fight to other. And I was always petrified. I was scared to get knocked out. Because, you could get in a fight and get your motherfucking ass kicked. But if you get knocked out, no matter where you go or how many years down the road it is, that will never get forgot about them people that was around. And anybody that knows you, that brings your name up, they're gonna bring that up. Oh boy, got his ass knocked out over in so and so by so and so. If it's the county jail, the world, or prison, you know what I mean? So I was always scared to get knocked out. I didn't want somebody to get that win on me, because no matter if it's a little dude, I'm the baddest dude. If you get knocked out, they get that lucky punch on you, and it puts your lights out. It's written in stone. Even if you get back on him, it's he knocked him out. That story will always be alive and well. So I was very, very scared to get knocked out. So my biggest thing was the weave and bob. Goddamn it! Don't let them get the chance. I always had my eyes open so I didn't get knocked out. I might get my ass beat, but I'm not going to get knocked out. Not if I can help it. Now, I've been kicked in the head where I seen light flash, but never unconscious, and I'm happy for that. I'm not saying that don't make me a bad motherfucker either, but as the years went on, and all these stories I remember from everybody telling me before I even went to prison about how they were beating ass in the world. So one of my happiest days while I was locked up, right? Maybe it was out of luck, but it was halfway through my first bit, I believe, somewhere around there. It was like a year or two when I put some weight on. You know what I mean? And been fighting. And when I realized one day that I can hit a motherfucker. Like, motherfuckers now think twice before they run up on me, because they know if it's go time, it's go time. I'm not